Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Taylor Carpenter of the Nashville hardcore powerhouse that is Chamber. I was able to catch up with Taylor fresh off of their tour with Kublai Khan and I Am and talk all about their most recent release, upcoming releases, and some of his favorite Nashville coffee. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, Caffeinated Crew? I'm here with Taylor Carpenter of the band Chamber. Taylor, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's good to be here.
We have the same last name.
No way.
Yeah.
Damn. Couple Carpenters.
We might have a relative somewhere back there.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, cool, man. Thanks for coming on Beans and Breakdowns on a Saturday morning. It's really nice of you to chill with me for a bit.
It's good to be here. Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about some hardcore and music, of course, but let's start off with the coffee. What are you drinking on your side?
I actually have this coffee's called Tropical Weather. It's from a company called Onyx, which everybody in Chamber loves Onyx. We drink a lot of Onyx coffee. But it's like a nice, like kind of fruity, floral, just easy coffee, which I'm a big fan of. I like black coffee, but I also like all the crazy coffee drinks. I like it all.
Like the tonic, espresso tonics.
Yeah, I love espresso tonics, and like I'll get an oat milk latte every now and then just to pop off.
Are you a non-dairy person?
Yeah, I try to just like not, it just will mess up my stomach if I have too much of it. It's like same thing with gluten. So I'll do like oat milk or hemp milk, or I'm a big fan of macadamia milk and stuff like that. But
coconut milk is cool too if you can get past like the overly coconutty flavor.
Yeah, that's the same thing. That's the same reason why I don't love almond milk. Because I'm just like, oh, this tastes like nuts.
It ends up sweetening it a little too much too.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a sweeter nut.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that Onyx, that blend. I picked it up at a shop here like a while ago. I used it for one of my podcasts. It's like a washed and a natural Ethiopian blended together. It's super
good.
Floral. It's really good. I am drinking, it's a natural Columbian from a roaster here in Quebec called Cantook, and it's called La Granjita.
So
my bad Spanish pronunciation will be on the record forever. It's got a lot of good like raspberry notes. It's got like a fermented red wine kind of flavor to it.
Damn.
So yeah, I've been a fan of natural Colombians for a bit. I've kind of been stuck on it for my morning brews.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I like Colombians a lot too.
So cheers, man.
Cheers. Absolutely.
Yes,
sir.
I'm jealous. Is Onyx really easy to find over there?
So they used to actually sell it at one of my favorite coffee shops in Nashville called Retrograde, but recently, or I think like last year, Retrograde started making their own, like roasting their own coffee. So I've just been having to order the bags off Onyx's website, but that has not stopped me.
It has not impeded your love for Onyx.
Yeah.
I love when that happens, but I also hate it. Like when I was living in Charleston, there was a roaster, or it was a shop first that used to serve like, I think it was Counterculture or something like that. And
I love Counterculture too. Yeah.
That was my original like third wave specialty coffee roaster that got me into it. So
that's awesome.
But they started roasting. They started out with cold brew, and then they started full-time roasting, which is always a blessing and a curse because it's like, yay, more roasting. But then it's also like, oh God, I got to find another shop to get my favorite roast from.
It's like, I'm pumped for you, but damn, I want easier access to your coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Retrograde your favorite shop there? Or is there some other shop you prefer to go to now?
It's one of my go-tos. Yeah. Retrograde. I really love Sump coffee. If you've never heard of Sump, it's incredible. Honest Coffee is amazing. And there's a company here called Eighth and Roast. That's like a local owned company. That's super, super good as well.
I think last time I was there, I was trying to find, I was actually staying in Franklin for work.
Oh yeah, there's Honest over there.
But it was kind of far from where I needed to be. So I was able to go to like Biscuit Love and get some, is it called Muletown roast? I
think something like that. Yeah.
But I did go to Barista Parlor, which is
Barista Parlor's killer. Yeah.
It's like a staple.
Yeah. Like you got to go to see what, like that and Crema, I would say are the two biggest shops in Nashville just because they're the most well known, I think.
Yeah.
But it's well deserved. It's really good coffee.
Yeah. I love that space over in the Gulch too, because it's just close to everything. You can walk around, go to Third Man. It's pretty sick. Awesome. Well, awesome. Let's kind of shift gears a bit into the music side.
Yeah.
When did you start playing drums?
I started playing drums when I was 7 or 8. And it's kind of funny because I didn't mean to. My dad's a musician and he plays like mandolin and fiddle, like bluegrass stuff. Mm-hmm. And my sister's like 8 years older than me when she was like 14 and I was like 6 or 7, she asked for drums for Christmas. And then she tried them for like 2 months and then immediately gave up. And so my dad was trying to get me to play like any stringed instrument he could get me to play. And I just was not about it. Right. I didn't care. I thought the guitar was fun. Mandolin and violin were too hard. Mm-hmm. And then I started banging on my sister's drums. It was just like a shitty CB, like basically like a toy drum set.
Right.
And then like I would play along to like Nirvana records and stuff. And I was like, this is really fun. And I just kind of kept going.
That's cool. So when you started, you were obviously playing along to Nirvana. What were some other drummers that you were listening to? I guess I started just kind of playing along to like classic rock songs. So like Keith Moon was one of my earliest influences, mm-hmm. and obviously John Bonham, Neil Peart, just like the classic dudes, you know? Yeah.
But then I found punk, and Bill Stevenson was a big influence on me. And I found metal, and Joey Jordison was a big influence on me. And it kind of like, I would get to I'd discover new music, and each kind of genre of music would have a main couple dudes that I like looked up to,
right?
Still do today. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That once you hit the Joey Jordison, it like opens the gate.
Yeah.
Like, this is tech metal. Oh, this is how you play.
It's crazy.
Fucking doubles.
Yeah. And then it's like I'll look at the chamber stuff I write today, and it's like, oh, that is just like I stole that from Joey Jordison or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you actually examine what you're doing, it's like, that's not me. That's just these two dudes that I listened to for 30, hours or whatever.
It's fun, like watching and especially listening to chamber. Like it's some of the most chaotic shit out right now, I would say, but like a controlled chaos.
Hell yeah.
But then watching the playthroughs, man, it's like, how the fuck is he playing that hard and hitting that hard at the same, like playing that fast and hard together? It's amazing. But yeah, now that you mentioned, it's like Joey Jordison is like one of the heaviest fucking hitters, and it's because obviously they didn't really sample anything, especially on like Iowa, those first records.
Yeah.
And he's really hitting those blast beats at that volume.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I can hear that influence in your drumming too, for sure.
Thank you. I mean, that means a lot. That means a lot. Thank you. He's one of the best to ever do it, for sure.
Yeah, man. What about Lars?
Man, we could go on and on about Lars and the many ways he's impacted the way I view drumming.
Yeah. I might not leave that in. So I do want to kind of nerd out for a second here. You're a Zildjian guy.
Yeah. I just recently started working with Zildjian and Vic Firth, which is super, super awesome. I'm really thankful for that opportunity.
And are you also endorsed by DW, or is that?
No, I'm not endorsed by anybody else right now. I'm on the hunt for sure. But I'm a huge fan. I've always been a huge fan of Zildjian. That's just been like, I messed around with Meinl for a little bit. I messed around with like Sabian for a little bit. I was never a huge Peisty guy. So like Zildjian just like they would never break on me, or like they would break eventually, but they always lasted way longer than any other cymbal. They sound so good. So I just kind of, for the past few years, I've just been playing Zildjian.
And that ride you're using, that's the S series, right?
Yeah, it's S Rock Ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it because Jay uses it in Slipknot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the fucker he has like vertically, like, you know what I mean? The one he has like basically facing him.
Where he's just slamming the bell on it.
Just to ping on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I use it for too, is just like for like ping parts, like pinging on the bell, and that's
it. Like the blast kind of parts. And then you have like a 20, is it like a 20K crash ride or something like that?
Yeah. So actually it's just a ride cymbal. I use a ride cymbal as a crash. Mm-hmm. It's just the 21-inch K sweet ride. Yeah. Because it crashes so good, but it has like the sustain of a ride. And then I have a projection, like a projection crash over here, 15-inch hats, and a 19-inch Ultra Hammer China. Ultra Hammer China? Yeah. Holy shit. It's crazy. It's a 19? Yeah. Yeah. Damn. That's a weird size. Yeah. I like, I'm actually like about to try to, I've had these cymbals for a couple of years. I'm about to try to send them back to get new ones because my tastes have changed a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm like a smaller dude. I'm like 5'5". So I don't know what I'm doing playing these big cymbals. Yeah. I need to like chill out and get some 19s in my life, I think. That's what I've been ditching my, I was using a 22 ride for a crash. I just got I'm switching to Sabian now. Nice. I have Sabian's a Sabian. Awesome. The metal ride is great. It's awesome. What's his name? Chris from Harm's Way used on Posthuman. Oh, dude. That dude shreds. He shreds hard. Yeah. But I like messaged him and said, yo, what's that ride you're using on Posthuman? He was like, it's the metal ride. So then I bought like a 22 just for the bell. Yeah. And then 22 crash, and then a 20-inch crash. And I'm like, I used to play a lot of like rock and like church music. So that's why I used big cymbals. Yeah. That's how I started too. I would play a lot at my church for sure. Yeah. And, you go for that giant cymbal sustain sound, but now I just got a Paragon 18 Brilliant crash. Nice. Fuck, is it loud? Dude. Yeah. Paragon crashes are crazy. What is your snare? So that's a bell brass snare. Yeah. It's made by a company called U-Drum. Okay. And I think it's like 6.5 or 7 by 14. And it's just a hand hammered bell brass snare that's badass. It's loud. Yeah. Yeah. It sounds, and the thing about like bell, like brass snares and copper snares is you can tune them to like a note. Mm-hmm. So that's why I love it, because you can like actually tune it like, like the rest of your drums and mix it into your kit really well. That's sick. Yeah. How much does it weigh? It's heavy. It's like, I actually have never weighed it, but it's a two-hander for sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I think U-Drum is actually a Canadian company. Hell yeah. Cause the drummer for Silverstein is like a U-Drum artist. Oh, really? They're from Toronto. I didn't know that. Yeah. He was actually selling some of his kits recently online. Damn. And I kind of wanted to buy one just because I was an emo kid, but yeah, no. Yeah. That's sick. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you nerding out for a minute. Oh, of course. Yeah, for sure. So getting into some of Chambers' music, it's super fast. A lot of like polyrhythm style stuff. I've heard people compare, or read people compare some of the music to like nu metal mixed with like Dillinger Escape Plan. Writing that kind of style of music, what is the process that you guys take? Because I know there's a number of ways that people go about writing, especially, a lot of switch up time signatures, meter. Yeah. It's all over the place. Yeah. I appreciate that also. We just, the way we've approached it has kind of changed with each record, and with the songs we're writing now, it's kind of just been part by part piecing stuff together. But when we're piecing together songs, we'll be sure to use a pretty similar formula for each song to make sure it's not oversaturated by the same kind of part. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And we don't want to ever do what people think we're going to do. if that makes sense.
Totally.
Too. So that's kind of a huge driving force behind the stuff we're writing right now. Always trying to just add more sounds and figure out ways to grow and become able to do more with our band as well, not just like play a few chords in sweeps and stuff, but
right.
But yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Those are definitely obviously a couple of our influences. Like we love Meshuggah, we love Dillinger Escape Plan
For sure.
But we also like hum and like not heavy bands too. So we try to let that shine through somewhat when we can as well. But it's honestly been kind of a confusing process right now because it's so all over the place the way we're writing, and just kind of focusing on each part, making sure that part's done, and then saying, well, what other part does this part go with?
Right.
And some stuff repeats, some stuff will just happen once and you'll never fucking hear it again. You know?
You guys kind of collaborate in the same room when you're doing it. It's
absolutely.
Not like Gabe writes a full song and then brings it.
Yeah. He'll definitely write like, he'll write like a shell of a song or like a minute, 40 seconds of a song, you know, and then he'll bring it over and we'll all be like, that should be shorter. That shouldn't be here. That should be earlier in the song. You know, put chorus on that part, whatever. But a lot of the stuff is Gabe just like cranking stuff out and then us going over it as a unit together for sure.
Taking it apart. And making it chambers.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know that Jacob was living in Richmond.
He's living in Greensboro, North Carolina.
That's right, Greensboro. Yeah. Is he? I don't know. Is it still complicated writing, like, you know, music and then having him kind of do vocals in that way, or how often is he kind of pitching in? Yeah,
it's a little difficult. He'll definitely we'll have like week-long sessions where he'll come down and like live, because Chris and me and our bass player live together. So we have a house together and we like practice downstairs and write downstairs. So when Jacob will come to town, he'll like live on the couch and Gabe will come over and then we'll all like, this is like the HQ basically.
Cool.
So we'll like put in group time together for sure. And like if we have a tour or whatever, he'll come down a week before and practice with everything. But he's like, he'll contribute to riffs. Like he's written a few riffs and send them to Gabe and we'll work those into songs. And he and Gabe work together on lyrics for sure. It's like, it's difficult, but we make it work.
Right. Yeah. I know long distance relationships are hard.
Yeah. It's tricky.
You guys just came off that tour with I Am and Kublai Khan.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I was really bummed that there's no shows in Canada right now, but yeah, I was really bummed I couldn't go see that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any more tours coming up talking about?
We don't have anything else, I don't think, lined up for 2021. We're planning our first headlining stuff in 2022, which I can't wait to announce. We're taking out a couple really kick-ass bands that people already know about. So yeah, it's going to be like, I think 2 or 3 weeks on the East Coast and then 2 or 3 weeks on the West Coast. It'll be like 2 stints of a headliner. But yeah, we're going to try to go back to Europe, hopefully next year if they let Americans into Europe. And besides that and the headliner, that's really all we have planned. We have a show in Knoxville with Whitechapel in December. Shit. That's going to be cool. It's like a benefit show. But besides that, we're just kind of focusing on recording. We're going up to New Jersey in November to record some songs to put out at the beginning of the year.
Are y'all doing that with Will?
With Randy.
Okay.
And we're going to do an EP, like 3 or 4 songs to just kind of put out and tour off of. And then we're also going to go ahead and do some pre-production with Randy on our next full length when we're there as well.
It's awesome. Yeah. Cost of Sacrifice. I know it came out November, right?
October, November, during like height of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But even in the middle of the pandemic, I seem to get a lot of really
I mean,
good acclaim and review and stuff like that.
We're very thankful for everybody that picked it up and checked it out. You can't put it into words, really, just how much it means to all of us, for sure.
And y'all did that with Randy as well?
Yeah. Randy did everything on the record. He produced the hell out of it. He engineered it, everything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's the man.
Yes, it's really sick.
Yeah,
I love that you guys have kept such like it's really raw and not overproduced.
Yeah.
Which seems to be, a lot of bands are going for that now. Like a lot of bands are trying to ditch the oversampled sounds. And
thank God.
Yeah, I know. I think Will Putney's had a lot to do with that.
He's amazing.
He did the whole Knocked Loose with the room sounds and everything like that. But
yeah,
I loved the drum sounds, especially on Cost of Sacrifice. Like
Thank you, man.
It's super punchy and not like that scooped out.
Yeah, there's some sub, but there's still like a click. You know what I mean?
It sounds like a real kick drum.
Exactly. Thank you. That means a lot. Fuck yeah. We put a lot of work into those drum tones. I'm really happy with them.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Thank you, man.
I have my final question for you. Actually, is what is your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
Favorite city to listen to heavy music and get coffee?
For sure.
Okay. That's a good question. Damn. Okay, maybe Chicago. It might be Chicago. Because there's that corner where we just hit it on this tour where there's like I forget the name of the venue. But there's the venue. It's like a 500 cap venue that we play. And then around the corner, there's La Colombe.
Oh yeah.
And then right next to it is Stan's Donuts. So I always hit the La Colombe for the draft oat milk latte.
Oh yeah.
And I'll sometimes get two. And then, cause I know I'm going to kill that first one in like 5 minutes and probably walk back over and get a second one. So I'll just get two while I'm there.
Right.
And then go to get a Stan's Donut and go set up my drums.
Yeah, man. I had my first draft La Colombe. I was in like ORD, like on a layover, and they have one, like I still stand there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And usually, if you're not in Chicago, you can only buy the cans, and
right.
Like, the cans are
fine.
good.
It's fine, but it's not
the same.
No.
And
yeah.
I was like, I don't get the hype. Like, I don't get it. So I just walked up.
Exactly.
Like, get one of those draft lattes. And it was like, okay.
Oh, I get why people.
I understand now.
People, they sell that shit in Whole Foods now and everything. So like people will be drinking the La Colombe and or La Colombe, however you say it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I'll say, have you been to La Colombe? And they're like, no, this is good though. And I'm like, you have no idea.
Not even
you have no idea. Yeah.
It's like the Stumptown cold brew.
Yes.
Like if you drink the Stumptown cold brew in the bottle, 9 times out of 10, it's on the verge of sour because it's been sitting there for so long.
For who knows how long. Yeah.
But getting fresh Stumptown coffee is crazy. Amazing.
It is incredible every time. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
There's a reason it has gotten so much hype over the years. And it's because it's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't drink the cold brew from.
Yeah, you can't judge from the can or the bottle. You can't. That doesn't count. Yeah.
Not even close to as good.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm happy you said Chicago.
I also love. I think it's Baltimore. There's a shop called Ceremony.
I don't know, but that sounds cool because I like the band Ceremony.
Awesome. Oh yeah, me too. But whenever we play Baltimore, I think there's a shop we go to every time because we love it so much. It's called Ceremony, so I can give that a shout out to if I can.
I haven't spent a lot of time in Baltimore. I spent a lot of time outside of Baltimore.
Yeah.
But that's just country and horses and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast and hanging out, talking about drums and hardcore and coffee and all that fun stuff.
Dude, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on. Seriously.
I hope you guys get all this recording stuff done. I'll definitely be looking out for some of those shows. Hopefully you guys can come to Canada because that would be sick. Yeah, we're definitely going to try to. We love Canada. Yeah, we love playing Canada. Absolutely. As soon as we can, we'll be back. Definitely. And thanks for checking out the drum videos also. That seriously means a lot. Yeah, for sure. Everybody listening, if you have not looked at the drum playthrough videos on YouTube, you can literally just look up Taylor Carpenter drum playthrough. Yeah. And there's like 3 videos. Yeah, I'm going to post 3 more in the next coming month and a half or so. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Take care.
Same to you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. Want to give a special shout out for Taylor for hanging out with me to talk about chamber, drumming, and coffee. I really enjoyed our chat. Be sure to check out Cost of Sacrifice, available on all listening platforms, and give them a follow on Instagram at Chamber Nashville. Also, be sure to check out the drum playthrough videos on Taylor's YouTube. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can also find us on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com and follow us on Instagram at beansandbreakdowns. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up!